practice, you want to make sure that you listen to your body and never do anything that hurts your body, as yoga should never cause you any pain. At any time, feel free to adjust so that the move feels better for your body. Okay, so we're going to start on our backs. Take a big deep breath in. Bring our arms up overhead. Stretching as far as we can from fingertips to toes. Exhale to release. Again, inhale to stretch. Exhale to release. And one more, inhale to stretch. Exhale to release. Just going to bring your right knee into your chest, clasping your hands along your shin. On your exhales, you want to pull that knee closer into your chest. Inhale, slightly release. Slightly release the knee, place a hand on the knee, and draw circles with that right knee. Directions. And do some circles with the ankle. In opposite direction. And release the right leg to the mat and bring that left knee into your chest, clasping your hands on the left shin. Again, on your exhales, you want to pull the knee in closer to your chest. Your inhales gently release. Circles with that left knee, loosening up the left hip joint. Switch directions. Do circles with your left ankle. Here are a couple of cracks. And switch directions. Into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze, and if it feels okay on your back, you can gently roll back and forth. Release your feet to your mat. Roll over on your side, press yourself up. We're going to flip right over into tabletop, so on our hands and knees. Knees are stacked below the hips, shoulders and wrists are stacked. Okay, we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So on your inhale, you're going to drop your belly to the floor, bring your gaze up to the sky. And on your exhale, gaze to the belly, spine to the sky. Inhale, belly to the floor, gaze in front of you, up to the sky. And exhale, spine to the sky, gaze to the belly. Really press through your hands, lifting up your shoulders. Inhale, belly to the floor, gaze to the sky. And one more, exhale, spine to the sky, gaze to the belly. So back to neutral tabletop position. We're going to take our right leg and lift it up to do a balancing tabletop. So I'm going to point that right leg, toes facing the floor. If you'd like to further challenge your balance, feel free to lift up your left arm, pointing it straight out above your head. Deep breaths. On your inhale, bring your elbow and your left elbow and right knee to touch under your belly. Kick them back out. And again, elbow to knee, back out. And one more, elbow to knee, and back out. Left hand back to the mat, right knee back to the mat. Now we're going to kick the left leg out straight behind you, toes facing the ground. Take a breath here. And then if you'd like, you can take your right arm up beside the ear. Okay, so your left knee and right elbow can touch under your belly. Back out, and again, back out, and one more, and back out, right hand down, left knee down. You just want to wiggle out the hips here in the back, really loosen things up. Now we're going to tuck our toes, lift your knees off the ground, press your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Have a nice bend in the knee if you like. Your ankles do not need to touch the ground. Really want to push that your hips up to the sky. So you want to take your right elbow down to the mat. Keep your right hand flat, left elbow down to the mat. You're in dolphin pose. This does feel a little awkward if this is your first time doing it. Heck, even your 10th time doing it, it would still feel a little awkward. Few breaths here. Lift yourself back up onto your hands. Downward dog. So we're going to lift our right hand up, reach through, and you want to touch the outside of your left ankle. And take your gaze under your left arm, out to the left side. Remember to breathe. Right hand back on the mat. This time we're going to lift our left hand up, reaching for that right ankle on the outside. And take your gaze to the right under the right arm. Bring your left hand back to the mat. Gently lower your knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Sit back on your heels. And lower yourself down, forehead to the floor for child's pose. Arms up in front of you on the mat. Onto your hands and knees, tuck the toes, lift up your knees, downward dog, and we're going to gently walk our hands up to the top of the mat to meet our hands, and forward fold. You want to gently rise one vertebrae at a time, full standing mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back and down. Okay. I just want to take an inhale, arms up overhead. Baby back bend. Forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, hands to shins, gaze out in front of you, flat back. Forward fold. Place your hands on the mat. You're going to step back into a plank. Nice long line from the top of your head down to your ankles. Drop the knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Gently lower your upper body down to the mat. Chest to the floor. Your hands up beside your ears. Spread your fingers. We're going to do a baby cobra. So you want to gently lift your chest off the mat with your hands. Back down. Tuck the toes. Press yourself up into a downward facing dog. Okay, walk your hands to the feet to the top of the mat to meet your hands. Forward fold. Root to rise. Go on right up to the top. Arms nice and wide. Hands meeting at the top. Baby back bend. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to shin. Flat back. Gaze out in front of you. Forward fold. Place your hands on the mat. Step back into your plank. Nice long line. Drop the knees to the mat. Gently bring your chest down to the mat. I'm going to place our arms up beside us, hands beside our head. I'm going to lift up your back gently, pressing through your hands to Sphinx pose. So your arms from your elbow to your hands are on the ground. We're gently increasing our back bend as we go. Back down. Press your hands to the mat. Tuck your toes. Press yourself up back into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Meet your hands. Root to rise. Come on up nice and wide. Arms. Hands meeting at the top. Forward fold. Oops, sorry, baby back bend. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to shins, gaze out in front of you, flat back. Forward fold. Hands down to the mat. Step back into your plank. Drop your knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Gently lower your chest down to the mat. Then we're going to lift our chest off the ground. Press through your hands. You're coming right up into an up dog. Straight arms. Your hips off the mat as well, even your thighs. You can. Okay, and from here, tuck the toes. Press yourself back. Downward facing dog. Walk out your dog. Bending one knee at a time while pushing the other ankle, opposite ankle down to the floor. Really stretching out the calf muscles here. Walk your feet to the top of the mat to meet your hands. You're in a forward fold. Wide arms right to the top. Hands meet. We're going to sit back in our chairs. Arms up beside the ears. Take a look down. Make sure you can still see your toes and just sit back as far as you'd like. The lower you go, the more challenging it is, of course. Hands to heart center. We're going to twist to the left, hooking our right elbow onto our left knee, our thigh just above the knee. Take a look down, make sure your knees are still lined up. The right knee will have a tendency to want to move forward. Release that elbow back to center and twist right over to the right, clipping that left elbow onto the right leg, just above the knee. Take a look down, make sure your knees are lined up. Again, the left knee now is going to want to track forward. center, come on up to the top, hands together. Baby back bend, forward fold all the way down. We're gonna hang out here for a second and ragdoll, so feel free to leave your hands free, or you can clasp opposite elbows. Make sure you relax your neck, so let your head really hang down. All right, you can sway back and forth. Move your head around. Place your hands on the mat. We're going to step back with our right foot, 3.5 to 4 feet, staying up on the right toes. Place your hands beside your left foot. Once you have your balance, bring your hands to your left knee. Check in with that balance one more time, and then bring the arms up beside the ears. We're in high lunge. Remember to breathe. We're going to open up to the right. Right arm comes back, left arm to the front. Both arms parallel with the floor. Gaze up straight over that left hand. Back to center. Back bend, and hands down to the mat. Okay, pop forward with that right foot, meeting the left at the top of the mat. Slowly rise, one vertebrae at a time. Forward with the shoulders. Okay, arms up, forward fold. Halfway lift, hands to shin, flat back, gaze up in front of you, and forward fold. Place your hands on the mat. This time we're stepping back with the left foot, 3.5 to 4 feet. Okay, staying up on those left toes. When you're ready, bring your hands to the right knee. Check in with your balance one last time, and then bring your arms up beside your head. High lunge. Up now to the left. Left arm goes back, right arm goes forward. Take your gaze over that right hand, facing forward. Back to center. Arms up beside the head. Baby back bend. Bring those hands back down to the mat. We're going to hop that left foot forward to meet the right. And root to rise. Nice and wide. Straight up to the top. Hands to heart center and down. And release the hands. Roll out the shoulders. Wiggle out the legs. Just loosen things up. Okay. Now we're going to work on the long side of our mat. So you're going to take your left foot, step it back. About 3.5 to 4 feet. You want to have a nice wide stance here for wide-legged forward fold. Clasp your hands behind your back into a yoga lock, so interlocking your fingers. We're going to gently hinge forward at the hips. You can keep your hands on your low back, or you can let gravity do the work and let your arms fall, as you'll see in the video. Okay, good breath. And then hinge forward at the hips. In a nice straight spine. And then relax the back, bring the head down, drop your head. And I'm letting my hands fall. Really stretching out the shoulders. If this is not comfortable for you, you can keep your hands on your low back or release the lock entirely. Release the lock if you still have it. Bring your hands down to the mat below your face. Straighten out the back. You're going to draw your right arm up the left, twisting open to the right, sending that right hand up to the sky. You can gaze at the floor, to the side, or up at your hand, whatever feels most comfortable on your neck. Back down to the mat. Okay, now the left arm comes up as we open up to the left arm up to the sky. Again, find the right spot for your gaze. Walk your hands to your right foot while bending the right knee, bringing yourself down, really stretching out that left inner thigh. Take a few breaths. Okay, press yourself up, straightening that right leg, walking yourself over to the left foot now, while bending the left knee, bringing yourself down, stretching out that right inner thigh. Take a few breaths here. Okay. Walk yourself back to center. Both legs are straight again. We're going to place our hands on our hips, nice straight back. And on an inhale, you're going to gently bring yourself back up to standing, nice and slow. And then bring your feet together on your mat, wiggle out the legs. Okay, we're gonna do a quick tree pose here. So you wanna ground through the left foot, bending the right knee, placing the right ankle on the left ankle. This is tree pose. You can stay here, or if you'd like to challenge your balance a little further, feel free to slide that right foot up the left leg on the inner calf, or right up into the inner thigh. You want to avoid putting pressure on the kneecap, so find the spot that works for you, and then find a focal point out in front of you, about 4 or 5 feet in front of you, to help you with your balance. Once you've found your balance, bring your hands to heart center, and breathe. Extend your arms up if you'd like to further test your balance. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Bring your hands back to heart center and gently release that right foot down to the mat. Okay, so we're going to go into a tree on the left, so ground on the right foot, bend the left knee, and then find that placement for your left foot that works for you. Both sides could be different. You maybe have better balance on one leg versus the other, so just find the spot that you're most comfortable with. Again, find your focal point out in front of you, and when you're ready, hands to heart center, and breathe. Arms up above, spreading your fingers nice and wide. Hands back to heart center. And gently release the left foot back to the ground. So we're going to have our arms up, overhead, baby back bend, forward fold. Halfway lift, hands to shins, flat back, gaze up in front of you, and forward fold. We're going to place our hands on the mat, step back into our final downward facing dog. Press those hips up to the sky. You may find that your ankles get closer to the floor now that you've loosened up from stretching from this practice. Gently bring your knees down to the mat and then spread them to mat width apart. Untuck the toes. Sit back. Forehead to the mat for wide leg child's pose. Arms up in front of you, palms on the mat. Up to our hands and knees briefly, and then sit yourself down onto your bottom. Legs out in front of you. Bend the knees, feet flat on the ground, and then gently roll back down onto your back. We're going to bring our knees into our chest. Kick your feet up as if you were going to walk on the ceiling. Clasp the bottoms of your feet with your hands. This is happy baby pose. Feel free to rock back and forth if that feels okay on your spine, or you can stay still. Release your feet back down to the mat. Pose. You want to keep your arms straight, palms on the floor. Bring your heels in so you can graze your heels with your fingertips. When you're ready, you're going to press to your feet and your hands to lift your hips off the ground. Really press them as high as you can. You can gently roll your shoulders back as you go. Clasp your hands behind your back on the floor. Pressing those hips and your chest up to the sky. Release your hands from behind your back, pull your shoulders, and gently lower your back, one vertebrae at a time, down to the ground. Do a couple windshield wipers. Just want to gently, loosely drop your knees left to right. Bring the soles of your feet together, dropping the left knee to the left, right knee to the right. Leave your hands on your thighs on the floor, or take your arms up above you. It's reclined goddess pose. A few breaths here. transition into Shavasana. Feel free to grab a blanket or socks or a sweater. Find it cold in your space. Alright, straighten out your legs. Your feet can be as far apart as you'd like. Straighten out your arms, palms facing the sky. And again, your arms can be as far out as you'd like on the floor. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today. Feel free to stay in this pose as long as you'd like as the video comes to an end. Namaste.